Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. This week, the president talked about supporting American small businesses, creating good jobs, and appeared on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. That's October 22nd to the 28th, or The Mysterious Case of Mysterious Case 55. On Monday, October 22nd, President Obama left Washington, D.C. for Rhode Island, where he visited American Cord and Webbing, a thriving small business in Woonsocket. After taking a tour of the facility that makes webbing, cords, and buckles.
Did you hear that, guys? This is for professional photographers. All right, you guys need one of these.
The president made remarks to workers about his administration's efforts to help small businesses.
The past 20 months, we've done everything we can to boost small businesses like this one. And what's guided us is a simple principle. Government can't guarantee your success, can't guarantee Mark's success. He doesn't expect it to. But government can knock down some of the barriers that stand in the way of small business success.
On Tuesday, October 26th, the president called into radio shows across the country, including this one, with Reverend Al Sharpton, where the president contrasted his achievements and goals with that of the Republicans.
They want to cut education spending by 20%, which would mean essentially that we're going to take away Pell Grants and cut student loans to young people who are aspiring to go to college, to give millionaires and billionaires an average $100,000 check. That's an example of their priorities.
That afternoon in the Roosevelt Room, senior White House advisor David Axelrod sat down to answer questions live on whitehouse.gov.
Wait, I thought this was radio.
That's what Gibbs said.
You know, when the president ran for office, one of the things that we felt we wanted to do was give people a greater opportunity to participate in their own government.
These chats with senior administration officials are called Tuesday Talks. To submit your question, visit whitehouse.gov. On Wednesday, October 27th, President Obama joined Vice President Joe Biden in the East Room to mark Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The president highlighted new initiatives as part of his administration's unprecedented coordination and cooperation across the entire government to protect victims of domestic and sexual violence and enable survivors to break the cycle of abuse.
We're going to start taking steps to connect survivors with jobs, to help them save, to make it easier for them to rebuild their credit, to make sure that no one has to choose between a violent home and no home at all.
Later that evening, the president went to the Harmon Center for the Arts, where he taped an interview for The Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
Well, you know, no matter what happens tonight, right, our children still love us.
That's the key. It is.
I know.
Absolutely.
All right, sir.
I don't want to lump you in with a lot of other pundits. But this notion,
you may.
You know, look, this notion that healthcare was timid. You've got 30 million people who are going to get health insurance as a consequence of this.
Right.
You've got a patient's bill of rights that makes sure that insurance companies can't drop you when you get sick if you've been paying premiums. That make sure there aren't lifetime limits. Make sure that kids who are don't have health insurance can stay on their parents' health insurance till they're 26, and cuts the deficit by over $1 trillion. This is what I think most people would say is as significant a piece of legislation as we've seen in this country's history.
On Thursday, October 28th, President Obama welcomed American scientists, experts, and company representatives who used their expertise to help free 33 Chilean miners trapped thousands of feet underground.
It was just a remarkable story. Obviously, you know, it's not that often in life where, you know, you get to do something that you know is making so many people inspired and happy and reuniting families.
And with the weekend approaching, the White House got in gear to celebrate Halloween, complete with decorations and trick-or-treating. The occasion also served to highlight one of the complex's most mysterious objects, Case 55, which graces the ground floor of the Eisenhower Executive Office Building.
100 years ago, this case was in the Department of Anthropology at the Smithsonian Museum. And it housed this particular one anyway, case number 55, as you can see on the top, housed Peruvian mummies. Sometimes there have been stories of exhibits that have been put in them, items that have moved around. So had that happen, I don't know, but here we are today.
An email from a U.S. Patent and Trade official in 2002 described the mystery surrounding the case.
I remember about 4 times when the signs inside the cabinet were moved without anyone opening it. I couldn't explain it because no other item was moved. That wouldn't happen if it was being caused by the floor vibrating from basement equipment.
This leads to the case being left empty most of the time, though for Halloween visitors this year, the Office of Administration is displaying an exhibit on doors and doorknobs. Whether the exhibit remains undisturbed through Halloween is anyone's guess. To find out more information on any of these topics or to see complete videos of these events, go to whitehouse.gov. And thanks again for checking out your West Wing Week.
Are you here just to make him crack up during this thing?
I'm hoping to get a little something funny for West Wing Week, I'll be honest. I am here as an instigator.